All right, we move on tonight. The failures of the Democratic agenda are leading to more and more violence on streets all across the country. And while Democrats try and run from this truth and reality and run from the destruction that the far left extreme agenda is causing the country and real pain inflicted on these residents, it's now undeniable. Yet again this weekend, a wave of shootings hit the city of Chicago. Over 4 dozen shootings this weekend in Chicago alone, 50-plus people shot, including this sick and twisted attack. Look at this. A married couple literally following an apparent fender bender after the city's Puerto Rican Day parade on Sunday, dragged from their car and shot execution style pretty much in cold blood. The man, 24-year-old Giovanni Arzuga, he's dead. His 25-year-old girlfriend, she's fighting for her life tonight, and police say no one is in custody. Interesting. I doubt you've heard the name before right now. How is it 50 people are shot and most of America doesn't know the name of one of them? We've been running names and scrolling names on this show since when Biden was vice president, and this was Obama's home city. Mayor Lori Lightfoot, well, you're a complete failure. You have let your city completely deteriorate. It's now devolved into a total war zone. You can't have a pursuit of happiness in any way without law and order and simple safety and security. Maybe focus a little bit less on attacking Republicans and looking at the race of reporters that cover you and fueling divisive woke politics, and maybe focus on what's going on in your backyard, in your city that you claim to care about. You, along with Comrade Bill de Blasio, so many others, failed Democratic mayors and governors, complete disgrace to this country. You're not protecting the citizens you're supposed to protect. You're not being the public servants you swore to be. If you can't protect basic safety and security, law and order, if you can't support the police and you support no bail, well, then it's time for you to resign and let somebody in that will protect the people of your city and your state. It's not just Chicago. New York City prosecutors, get this, they're now dropping charges against hundreds of rioters and looters that were caught last summer during the unrest, better known as rioting, exposing yet again that this is a failed socialist city and state. They're going to stalk Donald Trump. And, well, did he pay every penny of every tax going back the last 39 years of his life, but do nothing to save the lives of innocent people? We have people on videotape committing acts of arson and looting. We have their identities. We have their videos. We have their pictures. We have all the evidence we need. We're not doing a thing. You know, are we going to create a city with normal, common sense, law-abiding Americans where they can pursue their lives? What's going on in these Democratic-run hellholes is an abomination. It's unacceptable. It's preventable. It's unconscionable. Unfortunately, it's not at all surprising. It's a natural consequence of what Democratic rule does to everything around it. It works like clockwork. Far-left extremists take no responsibility, defund, dismantle, no bail laws, and look what's happened. Take a look.
And many of the cities that have talked about removing that money, like Minneapolis and Seattle, they've actually paused or slowed how they were thinking about moving that money. So this rising crime is not the fault of the movement. It's actually the fault of the police. And this has been our point all along. Why should we keep funding systems and institutions that keep rendering themselves ineffective? We should be talking about gun control, livable wages, fair housing, education. That's where we should be moving the money to ensure truly safe streets.
Joining us with reaction, radio talk show host, nationally syndicated Larry Elder, along with Leo 2.0 Terrell. You know, Larry, I'm looking at your reaction. I'm looking at Leo's reaction. Larry, I'll start with you. We do this every week. Every Monday, we can come on the air, give you the names of 50 people shot in Chicago, 50 people shot in New York, every other city. Nobody knows their names, Larry. Nobody seems to care about their names because they can't politicize it.
You know, Sean and Leo, in 2007, when Obama was first interviewed by 60 Minutes, Michelle was interviewed as well. And Steve Croft, the correspondent, said, "Are you worried about your husband's safety?" And Michelle said no, because as a black man, Barack could be shot at a gas station in Chicago. She wasn't talking about QAnon. She wasn't talking about white nationalists. She's talking about the crime in Chicago. It's one of those candid moments. And Kamala Harris in Guatemala talked about root causes. Why aren't we talking about the root causes here? And they include, as you pointed out, the defund the police movement, Black Lives Matter, the lie that the police are engaging in systemic racism, the pressure that police officers are now under for fear of being accused of racism. They're pulling back. Surprise, surprise, crime has gotten up. And not least of which, the major root cause, fatherlessness, not just in the black community, but in the Hispanic community and in the white community. And we're not having a conversation about that at all.
And you know, Leo, they don't give an Adam Schiff. They just don't give a Schiff, seriously, about these lives. Or else, no, seriously, we would know the names of the people every weekend shot. If they cared about lives mattering, these lives, names we're scrolling would matter. We have a record number of police officers killed in the line of duty this year. This is all on top of last year's record. So the problem gets worse, but we'll hear about the 1, the 2 cases that they can use politically to bludgeon Republicans. Why?
Why? Because they exploit and they use black people. That's all they use them for. They don't use them to progress them. They don't use them to improve schools. Lori Lightfoot is a political gangster. She's cut a deal. She's not going to go after the gangs. She's going to go after white reporters. She's going to go after gun control of law-abiding citizens. She ignored the help of Donald Trump, but she's begging for help from Joe Biden because she wants to make it a gun issue. She wants to make it a pandemic issue. But she allows the gang members, the career criminals, to flourish in Chicago. Al Capone got nothing on Lori Lightfoot. She is a gangster, and she's cut a deal with the Chicago gangs, and she's going to allow them to flourish, and she's going to at the expense of minorities. It's ridiculous. You know, it's shameful.
The 3 of us, and I'll end it here, all these names we're scrolling, we all agree their lives matter. But we're the only show doing it. We're the only show saying every one of these lives matter. We know how to fix this. If they want to fix it, they can fix it. They clearly don't want to. At some point, they're aiding and abetting this ongoing death and violence and destruction. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.